David Schwartz just came out and said there is no private ledger for XRPL and everyone pays the same price. Do you believe him? Silver is absolutely roaring. We got a UK gold miner that says, yo, we don't want to park all our money in gold. We want to park it in BTC. An ex-Ripple executive now wants to park their money into BTC. What's going on? We'll talk XRP price along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Look at silver roaring right now above $36. And look at Circle at $107. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Musk and Trump had a little bit of a wang battle, which pushed the crypto markets to the red, which gave us a buying opportunity. We got ex-Ripple executives now wanting BTC as a treasury reserve. Whew, we got lots to cover. But before we get into all of that, your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. And happy motherfucking Friday, everyone. I hope this is a start for a great weekend for all of you. Mr. Blake says, did Tweedledum and Tweedledummer just script a pretext for the entire market makers to liquidate a bunch of longs? For real, if the thing between Musk and Trump was all scripted to give people an entry point or to melt the longs, that is a whacked out way to do it. But would it surprise any of you? Let's be real here. We know the markets are manipulated and we know a lot of stuff that happens is scripted. Zarin Shirley says, people are still saying that Ripple is going to buy Circle. Oh, they're seeing they only can get $6 billion and Ripple is offering $10 billion. They won't turn that down, lol. When will they use the organ inside of their skull? Ripple is not buying Circle because look at the stock price. 107.97 right now. More than 3x the original IPO price that was offered. Ain't no one getting a deal on it. By the way, I have my targets for Circle. I am not chasing it, for real. If it takes me waiting a few weeks for this thing to calm the F down, my targets for Circle are $40 and below. If it means I don't get it, well then I don't get it. But I am sure as hell not going to chase it. Martin Burrow says, man, I'm sorry, I can't speak today. Dropping support on the channel says, question. Why does it seem that only the US has a big impact on crypto? Like nothing else on earth exists. Japan never has juicy contracts. Europe never do nothing. Mexico, nothing burger too. It's because the United States is the one that has like the big money, the big pull in the markets. In fact, when Jerome Powell does rate cuts, rate hikes, rate pauses, there are a whole bunch of countries out there that do exactly what Jerome Powell does. It's the phrase like this. If the United States sneezes, the rest of the world catches the cold. The United States is like the rich asshole kid that shows up at the party. He's got the coolest car, he's got the hottest chicks, he's got the most booze, and he's got the best party favors. Yeah, he's a total a-hole and you don't want to hang out with him, but when he doesn't show up to your party's lame. Yeah, it sucks, because like I said, he's a total a-hole, but he's fun to party with. Dude, that's the United States, and it sucks, but the reality is the U.S. moves global markets. And the reality is the U.S. moves the crypto markets. Bitcoin sitting at 105,190, rebounded quite well, while the rest of the crypto market is still clawing its way back. By the way, Meme took the biggest hit, and Meme is still taking their time clawing its way back. Doge, SHIB, and PayPay is still trying to make it happen. XRP at 218, we're going to talk price-wise there at the end. ADA at 67 cents, ETH is 25.18. Did any of y'all out there do some shopping yesterday? I nibbled a little bit. I didn't go completely crazy. I did get denied on Circle, so I had some cash on the sideline. Like I said, Circle's at $107. Holy crap. Silver at 36. Silver fans in the house, where you at? Let me know down below. Silver and gold looking pretty healthy. Let's get right into it. Ex-Ripple executives company to adopt BTC treasury strategy. Well, you would think they would pick XRP as a strategy, but no, they picked BTC. Former Ripple Chief Risk Officer Greg Kidd is set to acquire No Labs Inc., a medical device company that offers non-invasive health monitoring solutions, and they want to adopt a BTC treasury strategy. No Labs announced on June 6th, hey, that's today, that's breaking news, girlfriend, stating that GoldenEye 1995 LLC, an affiliate of Greg Kidd, has agreed to acquire a majority stake. Once the deal closes, the former Ripple executive will become the new chief executive officer. This acquisition will be completed using a mix of Bitcoin and cash. Woo! So now they've got a little BTC treasury. And by the way, this announcement is linked in the description below, along with all the other articles in this video and the other ones. So, former Ripple chief risk officer is like, yo, we're going to go BTC strategic reserve. Interesting. Publicly listed UK gold mining, article for my fans across the pond and for our gold bugs out there. Gold mining firm to convert some of its gold revenue into BTC for reserve. Interesting. So now you got gold players out there saying, yo, 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 we've got this cash from our gold mining. We don't want to leave it as cash and let high inflation eat it up. We don't want to leave it in gold all the time either. So let's park some of it in BTC. Let's learn, everyone. Morley Kirk explained that Bluebird, which runs the gold projects across Asia, sees this as the right moment to rethink its approach. Bluebird believes that it makes sense to shift towards a strategy that includes both gold and BTC. Oh, okay. Morley Kirk pointed out that gold has long served as a reliable store of value and remains an important asset for central banks and investors. However, he also stressed Bitcoin's role in the financial scene keeps growing, especially as more people look for ways to protect their money from inflation, rising debt, and global uncertainty. Wow. So now you even have gold players in the market say, yo, we're going to take a portion of our cash and park it into gold. Bluebird sees Bitcoin not as a threat to gold, but as a modern counterpart. And the company plans to convert future gold revenue into BTC, treating it as digital gold. This is something worthwhile paying attention. So not only do we have the silver market roaring, not only do we have the Circle market roaring, but we also have what, everyone? We've got players, and oh, look at that. Circle now hit $110. Holy crap. We now have gold players out there parking some of their money in Bitcoin, better known as digital gold. Essentially what's happening right now is inflation and debt is running rampant across the globe. And players are like, yo, you can't park your money in cash because it's getting eaten up by inflation. Can we put our money somewhere where we can beat it? Now, you don't want to park your money all in one thing, right? You want to spread it around so that if gold loses some value, maybe you can put in Bitcoin where you kind of get some of that. You see what I'm saying? So that's what these players are doing. Now, David Schwartz is doing a hot take. The whole thing is, do you believe him, okay? Ripple CTO David Schwartz shut down the wild claims of secret XRP for banks only. Remember there was the whole thing that there's a private ledger and a public one? Well, let's find out. According to Schwartz, all XRP operates on the same open source XRPL, regardless of who uses it. He confirms that there is no mechanism within XRPL that would support the creation of a private or enhanced version of the token. Every transaction on the network is visible, verifiable, and governed by the same rule for all users. So essentially, there is no private price. There's only a public price of XRP. The CTO further emphasized that XRPL was designed to ensure accessibility and neutrality. No institution holds exclusive privileges on the ledger. No separate network or hidden token is available for banks. Do you believe him? Because I got to be honest with you. A lot of players out there are saying, yo, there is a private ledger, and that's where they're setting up all this juicy stuff for these banks and institutions. His response comes at a crucial time for Ripple as the company continues its legal and regulatory journey. Ripple's CTO has brought clarity to a swirling controversy, firmly denying the existence of any private XRP version for banks. Do you believe David Schwartz? Or is he just trying to cover up what a lot of people are believing? That there is a private ledger out there and that banks and institutions are getting an inside deal. Now, overall crypto volume is sitting at about 146 billion, so exchanges are making some money. Altcoins right now doing okay, 25 out of 100. Fear and Greed Index, we're at 46 out of 100. So we do have some upside here. BTC, along with the rest of the market, have rebounded from the lows as of yesterday. We're going to keep our eyes on it. You can see we took a pretty hefty hit with market cap, right? We got way on down there to 3.14 trillion. We have since rebounded to 3.28 trillion. Specifically, the price of XRP, yeah, we got some deals. 205 was the low. We're now sitting at 218. Volume at 3.51 billion. Let's go to those candlesticks to see if anything jumps out at us. We're going to go to the 15-minute variant and see What do we need to see right now over the next 24 hours? We need to see if A, we can bust through this 218, 219 mark, okay? Honestly, that's the key. Then you start looking at this right here. You see this blob up on the screen, right? From the 3rd of June all the way right up here into the 4th of June. That's 225, 226, 228. Can we bust 219 and get through that? If we can get through that, then I think we got some optimism brewing in the market. But the reality is we're going to need something juicy to get us through there. You're going to need some positive tariff actions. You're going to need something good coming from Jerome Powell. You're going to need some good CPI data, which we could get next week. That definitely is on the table. And remember, on Tuesday, we got the talks with the House, with the crypto bills coming through. So we do have some positive potentiality things coming up. But yo, we're going to need something, because if we get rejected right here at this 219.20 mark, that's going to push us back down into this 215, 220 range. And that's not fun. That's when we start losing enthusiasm for XRP, because we're stuck in the friend zone where prices are too high for us to buy and too low for us to sell for juicy, juicy profits. The reality is what, though, everyone? A lot of players are looking at this and thinking, yo, David, we do think that there's a private ledger out there, because we really think that there's a lot of manipulation going on. Because, come on, Circle goes like 3x on that action. By the way, they're at $112 right now. Holy crap. Ola, come on. A stable coin goes 3x plus on their launch. XRP's got all this utility, and we can't even break $2.18. So the big question is, do you believe, David? Do you think that there is a private ledger out there, that banks and institutions are getting the inside track on sweet, sweet deals for XRP? Now, what do you think of the gold player out there in the UK? Support for fans across the pond. How are y'all doing? Saying, yo, let's just not park our money into cash and gold. Let's get into some of that digital gold, BTC. And speaking of BTC, Ripple executive says, yo, strategic reserve, it's not of XRP, it's of BTC. Weird, isn't it? You would think an Ripple executive would want to make a strategic reserve of XRP, but no, they choose BTC. But now the metals are starting to move, specifically silver too, which is telling us that what? Investors out there are looking for safe haven asset plays still, which means the risk assets like crypto are, yeah, risky. BTC, digital gold, store of value play is still alive and well. BTC back to where it was pretty much before the Trump and Elon Musk brouhaha. Yes, that's in quotes, because what if it is orchestrated? That'd be pretty gross, but would you put it past them? Probably not. Market manipulation? Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Lots to cover. Lots I want to hear from you, because your thoughts matter most. That's why I share your comments at the beginning of the video. Let me know down below. Happy Friday. Choo-choo what? Choo-choo biznacho.